Okay, guys, second try. First one, my dog started barking. If he starts barking again, I'm so sorry. It has been very difficult to find a place that's totally quiet around my house. My neighbors in front are building something, so you can hear the equipment they're using to build and the jigsaw and all that stuff. My other neighbor is making noise, and well, I'm trying to keep everyone quiet except my dog, okay? Later I'll show you who's my dog. Okay, I'm gonna be talking about page 94 and 95, the characteristic of protist, okay? So I'm gonna talk today in this video, if I get to by 5 minutes or less, to talk about protist and fungus. These are the last two things we have been working these last 2 weeks. Next week we're gonna be working with plants, okay? If you don't have the book, I'm trying to put the images of the book in the, I know you have seen because you have been answering, of the book, obviously as an attachment so you can read it from internet, okay? So from Google Classroom. So here we go. You need to know the characteristic of what a protist is. A protist is kind of a living thing, or is a living thing, but the problem with protists is that you cannot classify them in one single thing, okay? Protists, can be animal-like, plant-like, or fungus-like, okay, guys? So they have very special qualities. Not all of them are exactly the same. Okay, it is a very diverse group. Okay, as eukaryotics, they have a nucleus and a membrane-bound organelle. So they are eukaryotic cells, okay? Many protists are single-celled. Some, such as the diatoms, are multicellular protists, okay, that grow many meters long, such as the brown algae. And the book does show you a picture of a brown algae. So if you have not seen the pictures carefully, I want you to look back into the reading and check what a brown algae is. You can also get into the internet and check in. Protists have organelles, and remember that organelles are structures that carry out jobs, okay, guys, inside the cell. This means those tiny parts that have different jobs within the cell. You can say the Golgi apparatus. They even have chloroplasts, guys, and chloroplasts are obviously for those protists that make their own food, like plants, okay? So these protists have chloroplasts, some of them. Some can sense light, and some have contractile vacuoles that remove excess water from the cell, okay? They have complex structures for movement. This means they move, okay, guys? These protists can move. Most of them move to find food. Some of them use body parts, okay? Some of them use cilia with our tiny hairs around their body outside, and they beat fast back and forth in order to produce movement, okay? It's like tiny hairs that move, okay? They push since they're moving fast to reach a certain place or whatever they're looking for. Some use flagellum, which is a whip-like that propels. That means it pushes, okay? You know, it has this little tail that is the flagellum. We have already discussed this several times, but you already know they can move through cilia, they can move through flagellum, and they can also stretch their bodies. Now, when they stretch their body, this means they're using a pseudopod. And a pseudopod means that one part of the cell stretches out, all of the cytoplasm follows after, okay? And this is what they call a pseudopod or a false foot, okay, guys? Keep that in mind. And passing almost done with this first part, there are three different kinds of protists, which I already mentioned: the animal-like, the fungus-like, and the plant-like. Animal-like protists, they move, okay, eventually to find their food. Fungus-like, they don't move, and plant-like make their own food eventually by photosynthesis. Remember, plant-like protists have chloroplasts. That means they trap light and they make their own food, just like if they were plants. That's what makes protist so special. Because in the same kingdom, you have three different organisms, or one organism, that has different ways of feeding and getting their food and how they move, okay? So, why? Here we go. Algae is a multicellular. Sorry, guys. Algae are multicellular plant-like protists. They have chlorophyll. They are grouped by color. Main groups are red, brown, and green algae. Pigment color determines wavelength of light that algae can absorb. That means the color of the algae, okay, which are multicellular protists, okay, it's going to depend on how the wavelength of the light is transmitted through them, okay? So I'm going to have you three questions. Animal-like protists, what do they eat? And fungus-like protists, how do they find food? And plant-like make their own food by photosynthesis. We know that. But why is phytoplankton useful? Okay, this means that in the reading you're gonna find those three questions. Remember, animal-like, and I'm gonna give you a hint on page. You would have to go back, page 98, 99. And I don't know which day I assigned that, but you should check, okay, and go back to it. So keep these three questions there. What do animal-like protists eat? Do they move? Fungus-like, we do know they don't move, but then how do they get their food? And last one, plant-like, make their own food by photosynthesis. But the question is, plant-like protists, why is phytoplankton useful? Okay, those three questions are going to be in the reading. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Later on I'm going to try to get more pictures and stuff, but meanwhile I hope I get to see you someday. And if you want to send some photos through Remind app, it would be very nice to know how you're doing. And questions, guys, if you have questions, write them down. I need you to write down. Next week we're gonna have our meeting by Zoom. Be ready, okay? And write down any questions you have. See you guys.